So I received a question from the homework, which was S7-7. It's a sales mix question, so I thought we could work it together. So first of all, when you have a sales mix question, you have a company that's selling two or more products. So for example, in S7-7, the two products are the regular cruise and the executive cruise. So whenever you have a sales mix question, the first thing you need to do is calculate just the regular unit contribution margin for each product. So again, just as a review, your unit contribution margin is your sales price per unit minus your variable cost per unit. So for the regular cruise, that would be 50 minus 30, which means that for every regular cruise ticket the company sells, after they've covered their variable cost, they have $20. For the executive cruise, the price per ticket is 100. The variable cost per unit is 40. So that means the unit contribution margin is 60. Now, in these problems, we then have to take into account how many units of each product the company is selling. So in this problem, it tells us that we're going to, or we expect to sell 4 regular cruises for every 1 executive cruise. So you kind of want to think about those 5 cruises as like their basket of goods. So for every 5 cruises, 4 are regular and 1 is an executive cruise. So we actually need to figure out the contribution margin for that entire basket. So for the regular cruises, that would be the 20 times the 4 cruises. And then for the executive cruise, it would be the 60 times just the 1. So basically for our basket that includes 5 cruises, our total contribution margin is 140, but we want to come up with a weighted average. So the weighted average is the 140 divided by the 5 cruises that we have in our basket of goods. So again, it might be helpful, again, just to, again, keep in mind that it's the 140 divided by the 5 total cruises, and that 28 is called the weighted average unit contribution margin. Okay, so anytime you have a sales mix problem, that would be step 1. Then in step 2, the problem is typically asking you for either the break-even point or sales in units needed to achieve a certain target profit. So in S7-7, it wants to know the break-even point. So how many cruise tickets does the company have to sell to break even? So anytime you have a break-even point problem, your numerator will be the fixed cost. So in this case, that would be 210,000, and then we divide by the weighted average unit contribution margin, and that's telling us that the company needs to sell 7,500 cruises in order to break even. Now, you're actually not done there because that's a total. That's 7,500 total cruises to break even. But we need to figure out how many of those will be regular cruises, how many will be executive cruises. And that's where we go back and look at our sales mix. So we know if we have 7,500 cruises, that 4/5 of those cruises will be regular cruises. So again, we picked the 4 there. So 4 out of 5 cruises are regular cruises. On the other hand, of those 7,500, 1/5, 1 out of 5, will be executive cruises. So in this problem, we've now figured out that in order to break even, in order to have our operating income equal to 0, we need to sell 6,000, we being the cruise company, 6,000 regular cruise tickets, 1,500 executive cruise tickets. And I believe that's all it's looking for in 7-7. And then actually that got into 7-8. So anyway, let me know if you have questions. Thanks.